Virgo, this is your September 24 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is your reading. Happy solar returns for those of you with birthdays this month. This is Romy. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. I appreciate you. Okay, we're going to open up with the Four of Wands. I really like September's energy. It has I think somewhat of a beautiful intensity to it, but quite stabilizing in as much as there is a recognition of a readiness to draw a line, of building on the new foundations that have been forming. And actually, for you, especially Virgo, really getting a glimpse into the future as we also experience the new storyline that's going to be emerging with the North and South Node in Pisces and Virgo, with the lunar eclipse coming later this month. But before that, from the very first, we've got Pluto re-entering Capricorn for this final dance until November 19th. And, you know, I do think you are drawing a line and, you know, coming to terms with so much of what you've been through since 2008 as that transformative experience, you know, really asked you to go deeply inwards and deconstruct so many things in your world. And, you know, on the same day, Uranus also stations retrograde in Taurus, you know, all of this gathering of like earth energy, reminding you of how to ground in and how to truly embody so much of the sacred experiences that you have lived through. And so there's a wisdom, I think, that's landing early on in September for you, and an absolute recognition and readiness to say, okay, now's the time. We've got your new moon in Virgo arriving early in the month. It comes in on the 2nd. And of course, this is a beautiful time to reset intentions and to revisit things and really consider how the adjustments are going to actually play out. It's almost like, okay, well, what does this need? What does this mean? I've already understood the changes that I want to make. Now I've got to kind of create some sort of plan that makes sense to me. Now, on that new moon, we are going to be experiencing a square with Mars and Neptune that, you know, does kind of create a little bit of this confusion. You know, what do I really believe? You know, Mars wants to get on track and progress, and Neptune's sort of creating some distortion to things. So at the same time as you sort of feeling very clear-minded, don't be surprised if there is some doubt or insecurities or, you know, some projection that comes up energetically that seems to cause a little bit of interference with some of those ideas or plans or goals that you have. Nonetheless, the next day on the 3rd, you know, it's a really interesting opening week to September for you. On the 3rd, Venus is conjunct with the South Node in Libra. And I think there's an awful lot of reflections around what you're letting go of, especially regarding like relationships, you know, and how you've moved on, the ways in which you've healed, and really kind of coming to term with the clearance of the karmic debt that has taken place for you. And we've got the sun, beautiful for your solar returns coming in here. I think what's really important around those first few days is the affirmation from you, Virgo, of how empowered you are, how sovereign you are, how much freedom you have, the choices and decisions that, you know, you are in a place to be able to make at this time. You know, don't enter into any kind of self-dialogue that tries to tell you that you're in any way blocked or restricted or unable to move forward in the directions that you desire. You know, this is all about you sort of taking back some semblance of control, but really allowing yourself to live the things that you have now learned and how they've changed you, right? We have some sort of creative burst as well. And, you know, we also have the sun shining on that Four of Wands, which tells me, you know, from a celebratory perspective, not just connected into your solar returns, but there might be something going on close to home or in the workplace. This is certainly a time, you know, if you are looking to sell or make any improvements at home, or there's a shift or change in the work environment, there seems to be some positivity connected to that. And actually a feeling of more happiness or joy being able to be extracted or received, or that you're creating space for that to flow in a really beautiful way. I think there's this recognition of what fulfills me. I think it's a question that's coming in like really strong. We touched on it a little bit in August for you, but it also feels like it's very powerful this month as well. What is it that fulfills me? And it's about, what's important to you, not just what's convenient. And sometimes comfort is convenient. Sometimes just saying yes to people is convenient, because you don't want the drama. You don't have the energy or the wherewithal to do something that feels a little bit more unconventional or is going to take a bit more from you. But this is the month that's really asking you to listen to your soul right now, and really ensure that you're putting those steps in place, because I feel like the universe has this very strong preparation energy that's coming in for this big next chapter. So you just need to sort of make sure that everything is aligned, and that you've dealt with a lot of, I want to say, like the loose ends with regards to things, so that you're properly ready to receive the hit of that new energy and understand what it's going to mean for you. Mercury comes back into your sign on the 8th, which will be a beautiful experience, especially after some of the retrograde energies that you went through in August, and how perhaps they caused some overwhelm or some breakdowns in some of the relationships or communication that you needed in order to progress certain things. The 7 of Air comes through and talks to me about guilt pertaining to something. Is this you holding guilt, or is this somebody that's feeling guilty in a situation that you're a part of right now? I think there's opportunity in September for resolution, but it does require a certain degree of honesty and self-reflection to come into that experience. If this is being projected towards you, it's not your job to have to kind of create the perfect conditions for somebody to step forward and speak their truth. You are meant to be directing yourself towards making progress in all of the ways that are important to you. If you are feeling guilty, I think it's a really interesting time of deep assessment as to what that energy holds for you, what it means for you, where it's come from, what is the origin, in what ways is it holding you back, and what conversation needs to happen to help to bring some sense of resolve to that energy, because carrying that on your back is absolutely like creating a scenario that is unnecessary and sort of impedes your ability to be able to think and freely sort of put this plan in place or something into motion. Okay, I do also see you in the background kind of creating some sort of plan or putting your focus and intention towards something that you're not ready to necessarily tell other people about, even those closest to you, even your partners, even your loved ones. This is definitely something that you're feeling into, and you're like, okay, I just want to see where this goes. I want to do a little bit more research. I need to feel a bit more clear in my mind. But you understand the significance and the importance of what this represents, and perhaps how it will impact and affect not just you but other people, hence the reason or the need perhaps to kind of hold things close to your chest. I want to call out the 14th of the month because it's a really beautiful aspect where Venus is trining with Jupiter. The combined air sign, of both Libra and Jupiter and Gemini, brings about messages, communication, and it coming in a really loving, harmonious way. And it to me kind of indicates like an opportunity for growth. It's almost like a door opens, like somebody opens a window and this breath of fresh air comes in. And all of a sudden, like you hear something you needed to hear, or you're able to more freely say something you needed to say. Regardless, what comes from it is this sense of now we can change this, and it's a change for the better. The magician comes in, and it's a really powerful sign for me, because that magician alchemizes, right? So it's something that has not been working, or has been a real challenge or discord for you, and something in and around that date just almost like clears the air completely. It's like it would be a really powerful time to work with like sacred violet flame transmutation, just so that you can almost like allow these messages to flow towards you, okay? You will hear something really important and it will improve your mood and it'll give you some hope and optimism with regards to a specific certain situation. The magician though always tells me that you kind of have to get in there and actually work with the energy. This is not something that's passive. Okay, there's absolutely a requirement from a participation perspective. Now, if you're waiting for the message or the message is coming to you, then your job is to make sure that the energy is clear and you're open to receive that. So definitely a good time to kind of make sure your energy field is clear, your house, your home, and just kind of working to set your intentions towards what it is that you want and what it is that you desire in any given situation. You know, Mars is going to be in Cancer, and that's shifting the fourth of the month, right? Now, Mars in Cancer, not ideal. Sometimes we can feel that sort of passive aggressive energy. It can kind of dampen things a little bit. Nonetheless, it does make us very emotionally attuned to the actions that we want to take, and it kind of puts us very you know, in a place of profound awareness, I think, of how we are feeling, especially when it's coming from a place of frustration or it's coming from a place of anger, or, you know, any of these energies that can feel, again, that they're getting in the way of being able to find a grounded, balanced approach to things. So keep that in mind, you know, these sort of backstories that are playing out through the month of September. But 14th, really powerful. I love that energy of the magician coming in. It's a beautiful day to step up and shine as well. You know, if you want to put something out into the world, you have something to say, you want to share something with the community, with people, this is going to be an excellent opportunity to do that. On the 17th, we're going to see the full moon, lunar north node eclipse in Pisces. This is the beginning, right? This is the beginning of this brand new story that's coming in. So it's almost like a sneak peek. There's our moon coming through. Now remember, you know, this is going to be a dance between logic and intuition, between fact and fantasy. You know, the Pisces Virgo axis, one of service, one of healing, one of generosity. And, you know, the eclipse, the lunar eclipse, is going to expose some concealed realities, you know, so there's something that you need to understand. It does have a very deep healing component to it, so it's perhaps addressing something within the self that's going to help you to move forward, okay? We do feel with the moon coming through there that there's perhaps, along with the Seven of Swords, you know, this feeling of either you or someone else is holding back. There's this kind of holding back energy coming through in September, and I talked about this beautiful intensity. Now, holding back can create an intensity because the energy is sort of gathering and wanting to move, and so you can be feeling that building within the body, you can be feeling that building within the mental plane or building within your emotions. So it's going to be really important to find ways and to ensure that you are channeling and directing that in all of the ways that are going to be supportive for you, okay? But to me, there's also something really profound happening at that lunar eclipse in terms of unlocking something within your subconscious. I think that's absolutely vital because it's going to demonstrate to you a block that perhaps you've had for a long time that is really getting in the way of you being able to, and I want to say, enjoy the experience or the thing that you've created in your life, you know. So sometimes, like, we get the relationship, we get the job, we find the house, you know, we've worked hard to get the body and the health, and yet there's this inability for us to truly be happy and satiated by what it is that we've put all of our heart and soul, intention, devotion and energy towards. So why is that? There's something around this lunar eclipse that's going to give you the answer to that, and I think it's really interesting, and it's going to put you off in a whole new direction in terms of self-discovery, which again is going to tie into the new storyline, I think, that's going to start to play out. Now on the 22nd we've got Equinox, a beautiful time for reset. Interestingly, Venus shifts into Scorpio on the same day. I feel there again is a bit of an intensity around that equinox. It's almost like the deep desire to want to sort of go all the way with something. So notice where you're finding that conversation happening with yourself. I want to go all the way. You know, you really want to commit to something. You're really invested in exploring or progressing something absolutely fully. You are all in. Page of Fire says that the conversations are enthusiastic, warm, vibrant, passionate. And I just think you really have that awareness that it's like, this is what I have to do. It's almost like the universe has moved all of the pieces, right? It moved all the pieces, and now you're just really starting to see and discover for yourself what that means for you personally and for the people around you, right? Because you'll now be a part of you know, this whole new matrix in terms of where other people's priorities have shifted or how their life has changed, and of course you're a part of that in the roles that you play. So really interesting time of sort of observing and looking around, but that equinox helps to rebalance and harmonize something for you. Now this month you want to check out my lunar eclipse soul journey as well as my equinox guided support. You'll find that over on my website, romywiser.com. I also just want to call out toward the end of the month, Mercury conjunct the South Node, because again, this is happening 29th, and there's something about lessons from the past coming through for you. So again, something important in terms of the conversation that you have, news or information or communication that takes place. I think it's going to give you an opportunity to say, have I really learnt from this? Am I really walking my talk? And if not, you know, I think you again are able to find for yourself a way to put something into play. You know, you're literally constructing a brand new thought process, a new perception, you know, a new identity construct. It's really powerful, and I think it's something that, you know, you come out of the month with this feeling of just like, I'm so ready to do this. Yeah, I'm just so ready to do this, and it's huge. It's going to make such a big difference. You know, this is a month where you really want to embrace what is. You've got to be releasing what was and trusting in what will be. And I think a big part of this, in terms of the work that you do on yourself, is also going to help you to work with other people and allow them to meet a version of themselves that they didn't know existed. So there seems to be this caretaking, very service-based opportunity for you through this month of September, Virgo, to really highlight, to lead by example, but actually be, you know, a direct influence for somebody else to see something they need to see in themselves through that healing journey. But remember, this is about what you believe in, what fulfills you, and coming to this place of really wanting to draw a line quite powerfully on a certain chapter in your life. If you're new to my channel, the last 3 cards we look at in the extended version of my reading, you'll find that in the comment and description box underneath. It's a way to support the work that I do. We'll also look at a personal question and a relationship card for you. Speak for another 30 minutes or so. So I hope you'll join me. I'm going to go ahead and clarify the cards. If you're not able to join me for the full extended, you can also show your support in the super stickers below. I really appreciate you. It just helps me to keep showing up for the channel. Okay, let's look at this 4 of fire. We have the 2 of Wands coming in and the 6 of Swords. Put the energy of the Sun. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, I like that. Ace of Wands. Nice. Okay, what about the 7 of Air? Queen of Swords. 2 of Swords. 8 of Pentacles. Hanged Man. Okay. Now, if you want to check out my website, romywiser.com, you're going to find over there my oracle deck and my book, Moon Musings, Ways to Work with Me, all the sacred soul support that I put together as well. 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords. Okay. All the decks that I use, again, are always listed below. So just a reminder, this month, check out the lunar eclipse meditation and the equinox. If you join my Life Soul Vision membership, you're going to get all of the extended readings every month, as well as all of my meditations, access to everything I've recorded, and your own soul guide to work through rituals each and every month. So again, check that out and any offers that are coming through. This is Life Soul Vision, my own oracle deck. What do we have here? Detours from the Divine. We've got Heart Energy, Gratitude and Growth. We've got Rise and Love, Spirit Horse, Solstice, and we've got Nourish Your Inner Wealth coming through. Okay, let's pull one more oracle for Virgo for the month of September. Find your center, stay true to you, call it to you. Beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in, Virgo. I hope you'll join me on the extended. Take care. Have a beautiful solar returns. I will see you again next time.